What's up, guys, and welcome back to another weekly Forex forecast. Last week was all about the inflation data that was published in the US, which shows that the inflation is persistent. The prices continue to go up in higher pace than the Federal Reserve and not only would like to see. So let's take a look what numbers did we get in the last week and what is coming for this week, while the focus of the market is going to be once again in the war in the Middle East, US, Israel, Iran, with everything, with all the new threats that this week the attacks might be renewed as the negotiation simply goes nowhere. So that could affect the market, not only the oil prices, but all the market once again. So if we take a look on the news from the last week, it started on Tuesday with the CPI data in the US. Core CPI 0.4%, a rise from 0.2 of the previous one. Monthly CPI 0.6%, but the annual is 3.8, very far from the 2%, which is targeted by the Federal Reserve, which simply means the Federal Reserve ability to cut the rates in higher pace is still not there. Their hands are simply tied. Then it continued on Wednesday, where we got the core PPI monthly read and also the regular PPI, which both go 1% and 1.4%. Another, I would say, dramatic increase, which again showed that it's very, very far from the good news. So what is expected for the coming week? So we have the job market in Britain and then CPI in Canada as well on Tuesday. Then we have the CPI in Britain, the annual read, very important one from my point of view. We have the FOMC meeting minutes on Wednesday, job market data in Australia, and we have the services in Britain. So it's quieter, I would say, expected week news-wise, but with all the expectations from the renewed attack in Iran. If the negotiations actually continue to be stuck, it simply means the noise could be back. So what are the trading opportunities we have for the coming week, starting with pound dollar, which shows some very strong negative drop. Basically, the idea here is pretty simple. After the three bullish waves, which ended up with a bearish divergence, the market made higher highs, the MACD made lower highs. The expectations from the market is in some corrective moment, which could be either ABCD or some movement within this range, which means the bearish momentum is most likely still here. And if we go to the 4-hour chart, take a look how it all develops after this sort of double top. We start to see lower highs, lower lows, and at the moment there is full synchronization. The price goes down, the MACD goes down. There are no significant signs against, which makes me think that any pullback here that could happen at the beginning of the week should push the prices further down. I believe the pound dollar is heading to retest these key lows. We have one around the 132.50, then we have one 130.150, and maybe even much lower than that following the levels from the daily and the weekly chart. Let's talk about the gold last few weeks. If you missed this analysis, of course, you can always find it in our channel. Make sure you subscribe to this channel so you can stay tuned and updated on all the amazing trading opportunities we find here for you. Our view was and remains bearish. I still don't think that the gold is done in its bearish correction, and the reason is simple. After some overbought conditions we experience there, usually the corrections happens as a range or in few waves, which means simply looks to sell the rallies, at least as for now. And if we take a look on the lower time frames. The daily chart was a fantastic structure. Lower highs, lower lows. The price is moving within this channel still, and right now is retesting this channel. From there, the bounce to the downside was very, I would say, direct and straight. Let's take a look on the 4-hour chart, where the market made here some fake peak under bearish divergence, higher highs on the chart which turned to be fake versus lower highs on the MACD, and now we have lower lows on both the chart and the MACD. Add to that the fact that this ranging structure is breaking to the downside, and that makes me think that gold is still under a bearish pressure, and after any pullback which is expected to take place, as long as the highs here and here hold, for me the bearish pressure is on. I would expect to see the gold pushing further down, retesting the next important lows on the horizon. This low right here, then here, and here. We are talking about the levels approximately 4400, then 4250, and then at least the previous low, which is around the 4100. So for me, the bearish pressure remains on. The Bitcoin. So on the last several weeks, we been analyzing that once again. If you missed that, make sure you follow our channel. You can find all these videos in the channel. Of course, we've been talking about the break of this range and the retest of this ranging zone, where from I expect the Bitcoin to push to the downside. So this area comes in a retest right now. We have higher highs on the chart, lower highs on the MACD, classical bearish divergence condition, and from this kind of price behavior, there are usually one of the two scenarios. Scenario number one, it actually managed to make another fake run before the price crashes. Scenario number two, this already is a done deal. It restructures the low, breaks below the range, make some pullbacks, and then further push to the downside. With any of the scenarios, the idea here is to look for the sell. If the second scenario is the one that takes place, we want to see this push to the downside, some pullback, and continuously to see the price continuously pushing to the downside as long as the falling resistance line holds. So for me, both scenarios simply hint that the Bitcoin is under a bearish pressure, and for the long run, I expect the Bitcoin to clean this low, 55,000, 50,000, maybe even beyond that, before we can talk about the long-term buys once again. So one of the two scenarios for me will simply mean look to sell, even if the first scenario which we mentioned here, that it will make one fake run, final fake run under some divergence conditions. Even if that takes place, it still means I'll be looking to sell these rallies. We have a phenomenal range zone here, which is a huge supply area where sellers took control from. We have the same right here, range before the sellers pushed, resistance. So these two levels are super important, and any run to the upside for me, it's just a fake sign before the next sellers take the control. These are some of the most interesting opportunities we have for this week. What do you think about them? Let us know in the comments. If you have any other instruments you would like to watch, then make sure you follow our channel, as we are uploading the trading opportunities for you. Thanks for watching. Good trading. We'll see you soon with more. Bye for now.